We put air in the tire a little ways back and we still are losing pressure. So now we're at Buc-ee's and trying to figure out what the problem is. Wow, that's bad. So it's midnight and Jeff and I are in South Carolina. So this has been our trip from hell. That is completely coming apart as we're driving. Jeff and I had a first last night. We ended up staying at a Cracker Barrel overnight.
I'm not gonna have my already left when I get to North Carolina.
Yeah, we're afraid it's gonna fall apart before we get to North Carolina. So we are about 2.5, 3 hours into our trip to North Carolina, and here we have a low leaking tire warning from our TPMS. All of the tire pressure before leaving for the trip. So we're gonna fill it up to see what's going on, and hopefully that fixes the problem, right babe?
Well, I'm hoping.
Okay, so we put air in the tire a little ways back and we still are losing pressure. So now we're at Buc-ee's and trying to figure out what the problem is. So
I'm gonna have to switch the tire.
Okay, why?
Because come closer. The stem is letting air out of it. It's not good.
My God.
See, look.
Oh my gosh.
Bad stem.
Are you kidding me? Well, see? And this just goes to show you it's always an adventure. Not a fun one, but an adventure nonetheless. So I guess we'll get this tire changed out and we'll be back on the road.
Tell you what, it helps when you got the right tools.
That's right.
And we got all the right tools.
I guess better to find out now, 3 hours into our trip, rather than, you know, have a major tire blowout. Okay, so Jeff is just getting the new tire, or the spare tire, on.
I tell you what, I feel like the father in Christmas Story.
Yeah.
He said, "Right, time me." Figure out how long it takes him to get a tire.
Exactly.
I got this changed out pretty quick.
Yeah, you did, because you're the man. So y'all know that no trip is complete without a Buc-ee's stop. So here we are, and we're gonna have to get our grandbabies some of these. Okay, babe, so tell us what's going on now.
It seems like the spare is losing air, and I don't know, I think it's the stem.
So we think that we have a couple of tires with leaky valve stems.
Right.
And then on top of it...
And then when I pulled over, someone said the underbelly plastic was hanging down.
Yeah.
So I gotta fix that too.
Yeah, so we have some duct tape, and Jeff's gonna go ahead and air up this tire to limp us to North Carolina, or at least to our overnight place tonight, which will be Cracker Barrel, so that we can drive to North Carolina in the morning after we visit a discount tire. So needless to say, this has not been a planned part of our trip, but we're gonna make the best of it and we're just gonna figure it out. So we'll let you know how it turns out. Right, babe?
Absolutely.
We're not gonna get pissed, right, honey? Hey guys, so it's midnight and Jeff and I are in South Carolina. So this has been our trip from hell. It took us about 5 hours to get out of Florida, which should have only taken us 3 hours. We had continual tire pressure problems with one tire on the rig. The tire kept going low in pressure, even though we had checked it before we left, and our TPMS kept alerting us. So we filled the tire just thinking that maybe, you know, we were losing air for some unknown reason. We checked it for nails, punctures, none of those things were the issue. We realized that it ended up being a leaky valve stem, so we changed it to our spare. and all seemed to be well until we had the TPMS alert us that we were having leaking pressure or leaking air, and low pressure again in that same tire. And so we were like, well, what are the odds that this could happen twice? But it appears, we're not totally sure, but it appears that the tire is intact and that it's the leaky valve stem. So all aired up?
Yeah, all aired up and taped up.
Yeah, and we had the underbelly come loose while we were driving, so Jeff had to go and tape that. So it's been quite an eventful night. So we're looking forward to getting some sleep and hoping to get these tires addressed in the morning. First last night, we ended up staying at a Cracker Barrel overnight on our way to North Carolina, and it was well lit, it was safe, and it was quiet. So we would absolutely do this again. We had a great stay, and then we had breakfast at Cracker Barrel, and want to thank Cracker Barrel for allowing for overnighters to stay in their parking lot. It's super nice. Right now, Jeff is trying to secure the liner for the underbelly on the rig that came apart while we were driving last night, and we're headed over to Walmart to repair the tire valve stems. And then from there, we will be arriving in North Carolina. So come along with us, and it should be fun. So the tires are fixed, and we're back on the road in South Carolina, headed to North Carolina. And let's just say this, South Carolina, your roads on 95 are terrible. I don't think we've ever driven on roads this bad. Maybe I-75 in Georgia, but Jeff, what do you think?
This is bad.
Oh God.
Thank God I only got 2 more miles and I'm on 26.
Right, it is. It's been a rough ride. So, dear South Carolina, please maintain your roads for all of us RVers and traffickers.
I'm not going to have my RV left when I get to North Carolina.
Yeah, we're afraid it's going to fall apart before we get to North Carolina.